Hi friends, and welcome back to another video on this channel. I am Shiny and this is Shiny's Wondrous Library. Isn't it great? Can you tell it's been a while since I've spoken to a camera? Because it's been over 15 days since I've recorded a video, since I spoke to a camera. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you today about a couple of things. I've written it down in my journal because I want to not forget to say something. The first thing is, it's Sunday today. What is today's date? 28th. It's Sunday the 28th. And this video, whatever this video is supposed to go up tonight. I'm recording it right now because I had a different video already set to go for today. It was a reading vlog of a book that I very much enjoyed. It was fun. It was the first reading vlog that I filmed back in December, but I just did not find the right time to post it because I found other videos to be more interesting and more apt to post for those weeks. So I was like, so that video was ready to go for this week, but then I was made aware of the boycott against this book's publisher, so I'm not going to be posting it. I'll leave the links below, like the resources from which I got to know of this boycott, so that you can check it out for yourself, because I'm not sure if I can do a good job explaining what it is and what it is about. So I'll leave the links down below. So that's why this last minute impromptu video. And there's another reason for this last minute video, and that is there are, as of the time that I'm recording this, there are 70 people subscribed to this channel. I cannot wrap my head around how 70, well, a couple of them are friends that I essentially forced them to subscribe. And a couple of those channels, 3 accounts, are my own other accounts that I've subscribed to this channel from. It's called self-love. Don't. I am the kind of person who would like my own posts, like my own comments. I don't know. Is it weird? I don't know. Okay. I mean, I just do that. So, okay, let's just say 60 people, because the 10 are my friends and my own accounts account for 10. 60 humans on the internet watched some of my videos and decided they liked the video enough to subscribe, to stay around, to stick around. I feel like that new kid in a new school. Like when you're going to a new school, you're the new kid and you make friends when you didn't expect to. I feel like the new kid who goes back home and is so happily telling their parents, like, I made friends. People spoke to me. People spoke to me. People made like I'm just so astonished, and so it makes me so happy, and I'm so thankful that so many of you decided to stick around. And I know it's kind of cheesy to say, because like I don't really know you, but like I feel like we're friends, like if unless we resonate on some level, why would you subscribe? Like every person I am subscribed to, I feel like they're my friends, because I relate to them, I resonate with them on different things, but what I'm saying is I'm so glad you're here. It makes me so happy that you're here. Yeah, that's all. Thank you for choosing to stick around, for choosing to spend your valuable time with me. And I'm just glad people are here with me right here, like just spending this time with me. Like, like I don't know. I'm gonna whip out the questions on this newbie tag, because I love watching these videos. Like I love watching, what, I am inspired always to create videos that I usually watch. So like I watch these videos and then I'm inspired to create them. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I have been, I mean, me and everybody else have been obsessed with the idea of starting a YouTube channel. When I was obsessed with watching productivity videos and like med school vlogs, I was inspired to make those videos. And my new obsession were books and booktube videos. So I was obsessed with watching booktube, and so I was inspired to create my own booktube channel and make my own bookish YouTube videos. That is the reason I started it, because I watch so much of these videos, and there's this thought in my head that's like, I want to make my own. I want to join that conversation. I want to join the party, party. Anyway, what were some fun and what are some fun? I'm very bad at reading out loud and comprehending at the same time. Please tell me it's not just me. Either I can just read out loud without comprehending anything, and then I'll have to read it to myself for me to understand what I just read out, or I can just read to myself. Like, I cannot read out loud and be understanding what I'm reading at the same time. Like, I don't know. It's just there's no sync between those two functions in my brain. Like, it does not make sense, but it's just What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? This is one question that I always get a little stuck by whenever I've fantasized about making my YouTube channel. I've thought about making BookTube newbie videos because, like I said, I love watching them. So I was like, yeah, but I want to make my own, and I used to fantasize about them. And this is the question that I always get stuck by, because I'm like, I don't know if I can bring. I don't know if I bring anything unique. Like, what do I bring to the table? What do I bring to this community? What do I bring to this? I don't know. But that said, I do think that each person, like the books I read and what I understand, what I take away from them is what each person takes away from each book is sort of unique, because it's kind of shaped by who they are as a person at the moment when they're reading it. So, who I am as a person right now, that's shaped by my inherent personality type, and my experiences, my socio-economic situations. It's just an amalgamation of so many things, and nobody is going to be exactly the same as me. So nobody else is going to interpret the books that I read exactly the same way as I do. So that in itself, and each person is that way, right? Each person is unique, completely unique in their own way. And so each person, each unique individual you have in this conversation, in this community, it's of value. Each person brings their life experiences and their wishes and dreams and their ideas of life that affects their understanding of the world, and by consequence the books that I read, they bring all of that to the table. And so I also bring all of that to the table. That said, I also feel like while there is nobody exactly the same way as I am, there are so many things that there are so many aspects of me that different people can relate to. Like, there are so many aspects of different people that I relate to, and that sort of relation, that sort of relatability, that sort of common ground is also of so much value, because you see somebody else with similar experiences as you, and it makes you feel seen and validated, and it lets you connect with them on a level. What I'm saying is I am a unique person, and I bring my uniqueness, and in my uniqueness is my ability to relate to different people on different aspects, on different levels. And so I bring my relatability just as everybody else. So in that way, it's not unique, is it? But what am I saying? But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. What I'm actually bringing is my endless rambling. Anyway, I don't know, I don't know what I bring to the table. I just bring myself and my thoughts and my opinions. moving on. What are you most excited for about this new channel? What I was most excited for when I started it was just this creative outlet. Like I said, I used to have a channel, and I love just the process of making a video, like filming and editing. It makes me happy in a way. Like what I'm saying is, when I started out, I was most excited for just the creative outlet that this gives me. And now what I'm excited about is the community, is the community aspect. It's the people, it's the people. Oh my god, it gives me so much joy. I cannot even put it into words. When I interact with people on this community, it makes my day. Every day, every single day, I comment on somebody's video and they reply back. It makes my day. Every time somebody comments on my videos, that makes my day. Like, oh my god, I will be thinking about it the whole day. I would randomly just be going on with my day, and I remember that this person commented this, and I'll be like, I'm so like, oh my god, thank you, I'm so happy. Yeah, that makes me so happy. Anyway, moving on. Why do you love reading? I just want to say this. I want to preface with this by saying this, that I was never a big reader when I was younger. My brother was, and most of the time we had like this library subscription, and most of the time all I read was like very young middle grade, and that too out of FOMO. I purely read out of FOMO because my brother was reading, and I was like, I want to do that too. But nothing interests me. So I just used to read like Geronimo Stilton, and there was this book called Junie B. Jones, where we're following a kindergartner. I used to read that as like a 15-year-old. And I used to read Enid Blyton's books. And then when my brother got into Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, I did too. I read only the first book of Percy Jackson, and I read a couple of books of Harry Potter. I was not into reading very much. How many times do I have to say that? And how did I pick it up when I got older is back in 2021, I was obsessed with YouTube. Oh my god, I was watching YouTube videos all day, every day. And I was like, this is not healthy. So I wanted something else that, but I was like, you know what, I want some form of entertainment. And so I was like, I want some form of entertainment that can keep me entertained, but not stuck me into an obsession that I'm less likely to get addicted to. That's how it started, but it became an addiction anyway. So I started reading books on Wattpad. I used to only read books on Wattpad because I did not know that I still cannot afford a lot of physical books. This is the only physical books that I have. Back then I could not afford even this many. So I did not know that you can actually find free PDFs on the internet. So I only read free books on Wattpad, but they weren't always good. Like I would read one that I was interested in, and then I would, go to another, and that wouldn't interest me very much. So I would just give up on it halfway, and then I would not pick up another book because I would be like, I would still think that I'm having to read this one that I'm not into. So I'll just not read at all instead of just picking up another book. I don't know if I'm making sense. So I wasn't very consistent with this hobby. And then I discovered, I don't remember how I discovered, but I discovered that you can find free books. And that's how I started reading more consistently. Well, I answered how I started reading. I didn't answer why I like reading. I actually have journaled about this as to why I like reading. I've written why I started reading or why I like to read. Okay, that's why I clubbed those two together. One is it's a slower and more intimate form of entertainment. Like I feel like when you're watching a TV series or a YouTube or a movie, you're more passive and it's more, like fast paced. It's almost like you are just here and your brain is shut off. You're just kind of passive and somebody's spoon feeding you the story. And also, you're not spending that much time with these characters. Whereas when you're reading, it's like I am a slow reader, so I spend a lot of time with these characters. and I cannot read for long every day. So like I do spend like a good 10, a week or two with the characters of each book. So like I get more time to actually connect to them and feel like they're my friends and I know them, and it's more like like a closer relationship with these fictional people. And also it's like a slower form of entertainment, as in like I cannot just like consume it at a fast rate, and I'm having to like slow down and pay attention. And you know am I making sense? But I feel like it is a slower way of entertainment, a slow, and it's almost like relaxing. Well, it depends on what you're reading, but anyway. Another thing is it transports you into transports you to different experiences, and that way you can grow emotionally. Yeah, like it's just it's when you're watching a movie or something, when you're watching something that is audio visual form of entertainment, you never get into the head of any of the characters. Even if you get to know their thoughts and all of that, you're still kind of outside their head. You still like a third person, you're still watching them do stuff. You're not in their head. Especially when you read books in first person, I feel like, no, I actually, even if you read books in third person, but especially if you read books in first person, you are one with the character. You are that character. You are in their head. You feel everything. You think everything that they think. You're so intimately connected to that character. And so every experience they go through, you're vicariously going through those experiences with them. It's such a great way to experience and learn about lives and experiences of people that you would not otherwise have a chance to get to know. Am I making sense? So, like that, in a way, you're going to grow emotionally, and you're going to become more empathetic towards people with different experiences. Like, if I'm going to be able to put myself into other people's shoes through these books, then I'm going to be able to practice that even in real life. Am I making sense? The next one is connect to the world in a way. I don't know what I meant by that. I think what I meant is, like, when I read about people whose experiences, I've not had the same experiences, but I when reading their experiences, I kind of feel seen and validated, and I don't feel very alone in my feelings, even if my feelings are vastly different from theirs. Am I making sense? I really don't know. And the next one I've said is it's a way to connect to myself. Oh yes, I completely agree with this. Like when I'm watching something to unwind, I am almost like disconnecting from myself. And when you stop watching it, like I almost feel like, oh my god, I have a life. I forgot that I have a life outside of this series, outside of this movie. So it's almost like I'm trying to unwind, but in a way I'm disconnecting from myself and from my life. Whereas when I'm reading, I'm connecting on a deeper level to somebody else's life, a fictional situation, fictional characters. But I'm not fully removed from my life, from my experience. I don't know if I'm making sense at all because I'm talking in abstract. I don't know. It feels like it's me time, wherein I get to connect to myself as well. And the last thing I have said is it helps me stop overthinking. I tend to overthink. I make it hard for myself by just thinking too much and making myself anxious for no reason. And so this kind of helps me not do that, because I can just shut the excessive overthinking and just take all of that energy, take all of that headspace and put it into use it into getting into a book, into a character's head. What I'm saying is it's relaxing for me. It helps me soothe my anxiety, is what I'm trying to say. That is what the things I like about reading, why I like to read. Okay, what book or series got you into reading? One of the first books that I picked up on my own that I actually enjoyed and I've reread is this one. It's called The Secret Wish List by Preeti Shenoy. I think I read it 8 years ago and I reread it 5 years ago. One of the first books that I actually enjoyed, and not just picked up because of FOMO, because my brother was reading and I was not. So that was, I don't know if it got me into reading. What actually got me into reading was, oh my god, these two Wattpad books. Can you hear that? That's my brother. He's brushing his teeth at 1 p.m. Lazy ass. Anyway, I went to work and I came back home before he even woke up. And yeah, I went to work on a Sunday because I work 7 days a week.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All 7 days a week.
Why am I so embarrassing? Anyway, the two Wattpad books that I loved that kind of actually got me into reading. One is called, oh my god, what is it called? The Widow Melody Scott. When I read it, it was a free book. I don't think it's a free book now. The Widow Melody Scott. And the other book was Ruby Red Threads. Got me, like, actually to enjoy reading. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? What questions would I ask my favorite booktubers? I don't know. I should have prepared for this beforehand. I don't know what I would ask them. There's nothing that I can ask that they've not already made a video about. What would you ask your favorite booktubers? Also, what would you ask me? Ask me and I'll answer. Ask me in the comments and I will answer if I feel comfortable answering. Anyway, moving on. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think consistency, because I am a medical intern and it's kind of hard to balance my internship work, my studies. Like, I still have to study, and my hobby of reading and my hobby of making YouTube videos without my family knowing, and balance out, like self-care, taking care of my body and my health and my mental health and all of that. But I don't actually think my inconsistency would be a challenge for me, because my goal with this is not to like be consistent and make money or like be successful or anything. It's just, I just want to have fun, and as long as I'm having fun, I'm winning. As long as I'm making friends, I'm winning. Like, I don't know if that is a like, I don't know if I would view that as a challenge, really. Anyway, when did you start reading consistently, like seriously? A year-ish ago. Like, I started end of 2022. Where do you read? On my bed, all the time. I read on my bed, or very rarely I sit on my chair and read. But when I'm at work, if I get time and if I'm bored, I read, because I read on my phone or on my tab. I can read anywhere. Yeah, I read on the toilet as well. I don't pretend you don't. I just take my phone in there and I read on my phone. So I don't think it's weird. What kind of books do you like to read? You know what? I'm gonna go to Storygraph and tell you my stats, because that is my favorite way to find out what others read. Okay. Oh my god, I've read 99 books so far. Cool. I'm one book away from 100 books. Ain't that cool? Anyway, okay. Mostly my emotional reading palette. Obviously, emotional, reflective, light-hearted, funny, and adventurous. Sounds good. Sounds perfect. I read mostly medium books, medium rare. Like how people describe their steak, medium paced books. And I read, oh, that's kind of like 50-50 almost. I read sort of average books, and I read a lot of short books. And look at that 500 plus, that's like 1%. I swear if that's Poppy War. And that I read as an audiobook. So I obviously read so much fiction. I rarely read nonfiction. My most read genre is contemporary and romance. Oh, I did not think I read a lot of romance. And in fact, really? I did not think I read that much fantasy. There's so many graphic novels in this. Not There's some fantasy books in there, and my fourth read genre is literary and LGBTQIA plus. A lot of young adult. I think that tracks. I do read a lot of young adult. Mostly they're fantasy, young adult fantasy. A lot of graphic novels, that also tracks. Middle grade mystery, historical, magical realism, short stories, memoirs, thrillers, classics, horror, self-help, psychology, crime, science fiction, autobiography, speculative fiction. Most of the books, 68% of the books that I read are digital, like I said. 4% are print, and 28% are audiobooks. I read a considerable amount of audiobooks, mostly digital ebooks. Yeah, so my most read authors, Holly Black. I read the Cruel Prince series, the entire series. I've not read the spin-off duology yet. Alice Oseman because of Heartstopper. Emily Henry because I tried and tried and tried again. I tried thrice with her books. Taylor Jenkins Reid, also I read 3 books. Kay O'Neill, they are the author of Tea Dragon Society. Yes, because of that. Molly Knox Ostertag, they're the author of the Witch Boy trilogy. Brie Paulson is the author of the Garlic and the Witch. Oh my god, these 3 series are all graphic novel series. Frederick Bachman, I've read 2. Oh yeah, the short story And Every Home the Way every day the way home gets longer and longer, something like that. I read that as well. Preeti Shenoy, I read 1 book twice. So, and Christina Lauren, I read 2 books. Yes, I read Love and Other Words and The Honey Don't List. Yeah, so I mean, you can see I have read a lot of romance actually. I don't know why I thought I didn't. You can see I read 1 book in 2016, which was this book. I reread it in 2019. Yes. And then 2020. Oh yes, 2020 I was reading nonfiction. I tried to read nonfiction. I read 1 nonfiction book all year. And 2021 I read Wattpad books. That's why it does not show up on this one. And then end of 2020, the end of 2022 is when I started reading actually, like traditionally published books. And then last year I read 82 books. I honestly don't know how that happened. A lot of them are short, as you saw. Most of the books that I read were short, and a lot of them were graphic novels. So it's not as bad as it seems. And this year I've already read 13 books. Listen, they're also a very short books and graphic novels. So, like I said, it's not as bad as it seems. I don't have a life, so it is quite bad. And those are my stats. You can see most of the books that I read, I do enjoy. And that is a graph of when I read it and when it was published. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is that. That is my reading stats. What kind of books that I like to read? You got a comprehensive answer on that. The last question is, what does your book collection look like? This is what it looks like. And I made an entire video on the new books, the latest books that I bought, as well as the tour of this bookshelf. That was the first video I posted. So if you're interested, you can watch it. I do think I have improved in my speaking to a camera and video making skills in the 2 months since I made that video. I've not improved very much, but I've improved. So that's the entire booktube newbie tag. I've just been talking forever, as usual, and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go order something and eat, or make something and eat. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in a future video. I don't know when I'll post another video. I would love to hang out with you soon. And in the meantime, I hope you keep well. I hope you stay healthy and happy. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video and if you like me just talking shit to you like I do to my friends, and so you want to be friends, what am I saying? Do consider subscribing. And yeah, see you later. Bye bye.